actual hell did I just watch? Serenity, directed by Steve Knight and starring Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, and Jason Clarke, tells the story of a fisherman with a mysterious past that he has to confront when his ex-wife finds him and asks him to assist her in killing her present husband. And that's the basic version of what this movie is about. Serenity, not to be confused with the awesome version with Nathan Fillion. This movie, I went into this movie expecting a very straightforward noir thriller. If you look at the trailer, that's what it looks like. I expected something like, I think it's called Body Heat, one of those kinds of movies, you know, those old sexy thrillers from back in the day with the woman who's the femme fatale and the guy who's down on his luck and that kind of thing. What we got, well, first of all, I am going to get into spoilers on this one, guys. This is something I don't normally do. But the only way to really delve into this movie is to get a bit spoilery. So, if you guys haven't seen this movie yet, go check it out and then come back and watch this review. Or if you really don't care, stick around and let's get into some depth with this movie if we can. Like I said, this movie seems to be a straightforward noir thriller. And then there's a big reveal. And the reveal it's not handled well. That's the biggest problem I have with this movie is the execution. And the director, he's known for some really fantastic work. I love The Lock with Tom Hardy. He's done Peaky Blinders. He's done, what's it called? My brain is, it'll come back to me. He's done so many Dirty Pretty Things. He's done so many really fantastic movies. And this is just a mess. The execution of this film, I think, is where this film fails. Because the movie has a really good concept going for it. When you get into it, when you really delve into it. This movie, to me, represents both the stages of grief and a type of spirituality that comes with facing the afterlife, so to speak. If I get, like I said, I'm trying not to get too spoilery, but I'm going to touch on a few things. Like I said, halfway through this movie, not even maybe halfway through, because a lot of weird stuff happens before. There's this cat that shows up, for instance. There's this black cat that shows up in places that it really shouldn't be able to show up in. Because it's an island, yes, but this cat seems to be teleporting. There's a reason for that. There are characters in this, I'll call them NPCs, and the gamers out there, right there, I'm giving away a huge spoiler as to this movie. I don't know, guys. I'm just so confused. I've never been this baffled by a movie or what the hell the movie was trying to tell me. And I just watched You Were Never Really There. I got so much more out of that because that movie tells a full story. The acting is fantastic in that film. The visuals tell a story without all the dialogue behind it. That's a phenomenal movie. And then you have this movie where they're trying to be existential, they're trying to be deep, when really and truly, I think they should have just stuck with a noir thriller. There's nothing wrong with that. You could have just have an entertaining noir thriller. But I have to give Steve Knight points for trying something. When I stop and I think about it, I don't think this is a bad movie per se. There's some really deep elements to this movie. And I think the actors, especially I think Matthew McConaughey, he's trying to convey those deeper elements in this movie. Anne Hathaway, I actually like her a lot. I know she takes a lot of flack from people, but I like her a lot. The character here does vary from sexy vixen to sympathetic, especially when you see what her backstory is. Jason Clarke just plays an evil asshole in this. There's no real layers to his character. There's not a sympathetic bone in my body for that character. I just wanted that character to die over and over again. Maybe that's the point. But the real strength of this movie really is Matthew McConaughey. I think he's genuinely trying to make this material relatable, especially when that big reveal happens. Another issue I have with that reveal is the fact that it was another case of you telling me and not showing me. I think this is a movie where you should have left it up to the audiences to figure out what was going on a little bit more. This reveal is just dropped on us about halfway through this movie. There's no real lead up to it, unless, like I said, you see the things that we noticed. Like, friend of mine, we live in the Caribbean, and the first question we asked when this movie started was, what island is this? Because it didn't seem to fit into any island that we know. And there's a reason for that. The black cat, like I said, that I noticed popping up here and there, those are the only real clues as to what's happening. But for general audiences, I don't think they're going to pick up on those things. So when they basically tell you, this is what's happening, this is what this movie is. I heard audience members just like, what the hell? They were just murmuring. Everybody was confused. The movie just got ridiculous at that point, and all of the good karma that had built up prior to that, getting you involved in this mystery, into this thriller, it just lost you. When the credits rolled, I sat there and I was just like, what the actual F was that? I was so confused. And for the first time ever, guys, this is a movie that I'm reluctant to give this movie an actual rating, an actual score. Because I don't want to say it's a bad film. I think it has some very solid ideas there about spirituality, about grief and loss and acceptance and all those sorts of things. Like I said, it's the full stages of grief on display. At least that's what I got from it. But the execution is terrible. I don't know. The first half, the second half is just insanity. So for me, guys, I'm going to give this movie a out of 10. I'm so confused by what I should give this film. I think I'm going to give it a couple more views and then maybe come up with an actual score for it. At this point of time, off the top of my head, I would say 5. Maybe just drop it in the middle there. I think for a lot of people, this movie is going to be very polarizing. It's going to be, some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to say it's awesome and it's telling a deeper story. I would honestly like to visit this movie in another few years and see how it ages and see, maybe it gets better with time, or maybe it's just an awful movie that we're trying to give it more value than it's worth. So for now, I'm just going to say, and you guys should check it out yourself. And that's going to be it, guys. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button. It's very much appreciated. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face over there. And I'm also on Stardust under the same name, Movie Junkie, capital M, capital J. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.